Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I want to talk to you about the grading services having too much power. Now, this is a topic that is very tough for me to talk about because I have been at times defending PCGS and NGC when a lot of you have said that they have too much power, and so I think what I'm here to say today is that I agree that they have too much power. I know that's not a very bold statement the way that I'm putting it, but I think the hobby as a whole has become way too reliant on them, and they have become, in my opinion, as inconsistent as I've seen them probably in the last decade. I think that there have been times when they have different levels of ability, skill sets, and consistency. And right now, it's just not very good. The consistency has not been very good. The level of power that the collecting community has abdicated to the grading services, that's a constant. That's been there for 20 years now or more. They since the mid 80s when they began. I think it was a slow process, but now we're to a point where you have a coin that's a nice coin and you want to get a fair market value for it based on the grade. But if NGC and PCGS will not grade the coin, I can get 5 dealers to agree with me on a grade, but PCGS or NGC won't, and therefore I no longer have the ability to sell that coin for what that coin is and should be worth. So the tricky question here as a community, as a hobby, what's next? Because you can't really just take over. I'm not really in favor of sanctions or an oversight. In other words, if you have someone looking over them, what's that going to do for you? This is people's argument for CAC, by the way. This other company that puts their little sticker on the grading on a coin that's already been graded and says, "Hey, look at this. This is a good coin." But what that doesn't do is it doesn't make up for all the coins that are not getting graded in the proper grade. If the coin is in some way, misgraded, you can't get it in the right holder. It never gets to that point for CAC to really look at the coin. So, I'm not in favor of any type of special oversight. I believe mostly in general, what I call market forces, right? So some companies become almost too big to fail. They become such a big piece of what the community is. People look to PCGS and NGC as leaders within the collecting community. And it's interesting because in a way they really shouldn't, because those companies should be a lot more like the companies like Lighthouse. I sell numismatic products. I sell, Dansco. I sell holders. They are really supposed to be an independent source of grading that is a service that you purchase. Now, some of you have pointed to Annex or ICG and SEG, some of the other third-party grading services. And it's difficult because even Annex today is, I watch the Coin Vault or one of these gimmicky online shows, where they're selling new coins graded MS70 and Proof 70. There's a ton of Annex stuff, which I can't blame Annex for because they're just in the marketplace doing their job. Someone else is hawking their wares. So aside from another company coming in that people are just hot to trot for and really willing to take their coins, the grades put on those coins, I don't know that there's much that can really be done other than people stop buying graded coins. Which gets me full circle to my point. I don't know that that's ever going to happen. This gets me to the point of saying they have too much power, which is because I don't know anyone who's going to give it up. Like, I don't know any dealers, I don't know any collectors who are actually going to say, you know what, I'm done sending stuff into PCGS. Now, sure, there's a handful out there, but it's not an insurrection. It's not enough that people can rise up and say, you know what, we're not going to do. I'm thinking of movie lines, right? We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there is actually a solution, to the core question of, do these companies have too much sway in the marketplace? And my main complaint has to do with, the grading standards. Not that they've changed, but the fact that they're more inconsistent than they used to be, and the fact that I used to feel very comfortable sending coins in and getting the grades back. Even if I disagreed with it, generally I felt pretty comfortable, like, okay, I understand what they're looking at. And now it just doesn't feel that way anymore. I feel like, whether they're going to call a coin cleaned or not is a lot, uh, there's a bigger variable in that. And for certain, if you're sending a copper coin in, with questionable color, my friends, questionable color, you know, it's a little out of hand. It's a little out of hand. So anyway, um, do you guys have suggestions? Now I know we all want to go with Viva la Revolution and all this stuff about let's storm the castle, but really, I mean, in a practical way, is there something that could actually affect the outcome? Because I don't think we're all going to have a big powwow with PCGS and just say, hey, it will a letter writing campaign. Is this the 1970s? Should we do that? Should we boycott? What is your solution for the? I don't. I see. I don't even feel good calling it a problem because I understand probably the majority of what they do is good work, right? So I don't want to be here slinging arrows at people, but it's not as consistent as it used to be, and the hobby as a whole, the collecting community rely on them for the answers and for grading. And one of my only answers for this is that the collector market continues to educate themselves. My answer to this is that collectors educate themselves. And so when it comes to grading, I want all of you to be able to grade as well as people at PCGS or NGC. That is my answer to the conundrum. I don't know how that fixes things, but I know it fixes things. I know it fixes something in the marketplace. Something we lost when we went to relying on NGC and PCGS. We lost the ability to grade coins for ourselves, and that needs to be fixed. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe, click on the button in the corner, and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.